All right, we are live here in the Seven Figure Coaches Facebook group with our rockstar client, Nicole Barker. And yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff today. We are going to be covering how Nicole, in just 3 weeks, generated $22,500 in profit. We're going to be talking about how she's been able to grow her Facebook group to like 6,000 people in a matter of months. We're gonna be talking about a bunch of cool stuff. She is a client inside Seven Figure Visionary, which is our newest mastermind. She was actually the first one in.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about her story. We're gonna be talking about branding. We're gonna have her give some value and tips for you guys. So this is gonna be a cool client spotlight interview. Before we get going, we do have a bunch of questions that you guys wanted us to ask Nicole, so we're gonna be getting into that stuff as well. But if you guys have a comment, please drop it off in the comment section. We will do our best to get to your comment on how she generated $22,500 in just 3 weeks, which is insane as basically an online coach. So before we get going, first off, Nicole, thanks for joining me. I'm excited to chat with you.
Yeah, so stoked to be here.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some fun today. Between the two of us, we're both kind of goofy people, so this will be a very casual interview, chock full of knowledge and good stuff. But Nicole, to give everybody some background, like a lot of people want to become an online coach. There's people that are currently an online coach, and they're not having the type of success that are already experiencing. And so we want to dive into what's really driving your growth so rapidly. But let's give some context and background for everybody that's listening in and doesn't know who the Wonder Woman Nicole Barker is. So let me get this straight, Nicole. So you started off online, was it 7-8 months ago? Is that right?
November.
Okay, so Nicole started in November. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you started in November. You saw one of our Facebook ads, and you didn't even know what a funnel was. You hadn't heard of ClickFunnels before. You didn't know like what Facebook ads were. You're just like, oh, that's a cool ad. You clicked on it. You signed up. You booked a call with our team. You joined our Facebook advertising program, and then in what was it? Was it the first 4 weeks you landed 6 clients? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, I actually Googled what SEO stood for when I was on the discovery call. Because I didn't know. So to say that I'm not techie is an understatement. I've gotten a lot better. But yeah, I rapid fire took that Funko program by storm. I did it so fast. And I just went out and got clients. I had 10 clients in 6 weeks after I finished the training. And I was busy.
Well, first off, it's awesome that you actually made it on this call. I wasn't sure if we were gonna have tech issues with you actually being able to get on StreamYard and do this.
Genius.
Nicole will be the first to tell you guys that she struggles with tech, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we helped her around tech in case tech is something that you're not good at as well. But yeah, so you landed 6 clients in 4 weeks. You quickly grew to $10,000 a month with a Facebook ad agency, which is just awesome. But then really quickly, right, what made you want to transition from doing the agency model? Because there's also a lot of people out there that do done for you services. Why did you decide to transition from an agency into coaching? Like, what was that? What was going through your head there?
Well, I think having 10 clients did it, right? Having 10 clients with the done for you model, like, I was busy and it was 24 hours a day, a lot of work. And I learned so much so fast. And then when your program came along that was like, we could figure out a way to scale this in a way that I don't have to work 24 hours a day, all of the hours. That was really spoke to me. It made sense to be able to enjoy the lifestyle that I want to have. And then also help people in the best ways that my personality suits people.
Right. Yeah, and that's a tricky one for a lot of people that are doing the agency model stuff. Like they're having success with it, and but then they run into that block of like, hey, this is difficult to scale. and then you have clients with outrageous expectations and stuff, and at some point it becomes too much. And because you let me say this. What was the mindset process of transferring? Because you had only been running your agency, I think, like 2 months, and then you're like, okay, I'm done with agency work. I'm switching over to coaching, right? And so walk us through that, because that's like getting started as an online coach is one of the tougher things mindset wise, because a lot of us go, oh no, like I want to be an online coach, but I'm not good enough yet. It's that like imposter syndrome, right? Like I'm not a millionaire. Am I qualified to teach other people? What are your thoughts on that? Like, as far as like, do you have to be a millionaire in order to be like, do you have to be guru status in order to be a great coach? Or what would you say to that?
I think it really came down to the premise of like watching how fast I learned the skills in Funco to learn how to do ad agency stuff. It's like the reason that I learned that so fast is because the program was full of people that helped me to do that, because those people were in fact coaching me. Like, yes, your program coaches and the people in there they had a little bit more experience than me. They were a little bit, well, most of them a lot better than me at the tech side of things, but they knew what was up, and I could ask questions and they could answer them, and then I could duplicate that system. So the mindset shift there is you don't have to know everything about everything. No one does, right? You just have to know more than the people that you're coaching. And for me, it's the closer you are to that, the better you are at coaching. If I'm just a little bit ahead of you, then I remember what it's like to be you. And some of the best help that I got through that program was actually from people who had only been in there a couple months longer than I did and could remember how to do the stuff that was super basic of like, how do I set up my pixel the right way? Why is my wrong pixel here and there? And then somebody that actually, had that experience a couple months prior did it and could help me through that because it was so bonehead, right? And then somebody else came into Funco after me and had the same problem that I did about switching the pixels. And I got onto a call with him and I helped him. And like that light came on where I was like, I can help other people with the level of experience that I have. And sure, imposter syndrome always creeps in some light because you feel that feeling of wanting to perform, right? You want to do well for your clients. But that really comes down to accepting the fact that you have experience and you should be willing to share it, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, and the way I always look at it is like, let's just say I was lacking motivation. Like, I would not go hire Tony Robbins if I was lacking motivation, like for 1v1 coaching. He probably charges $20,000 an hour. I would rather hire somebody who just has been studying, the art of motivation, the psychology of motivation, right? And have 6 months with them and 20 1v1 calls to make sure I'm on track every single week with my motivation, than going all the way to the top. And so I think that is such a massive breakthrough. It should be a massive breakthrough for aspiring coaches, or if you're a coach right now, you do not need to be the best. A lot of times you're able to provide more value if, just like Nicole said, if you're just barely above the person you're coaching. So that's a huge breakthrough. So, okay, so then you leave the agency stuff, and did you fire all your clients, or what was that transition from agency now into coaching? Tell me about that a little bit.
I finished up. I mean, I had 90-day contracts with most of them, so I still had to do about a month worth of overlap. A couple of them 2 months worth of overlap. I did fire a couple. I did pass a couple off. I did fire a couple. And I did finish a couple. It was kind of a third of the situation. Which, it kind of felt shitty a little bit. I felt guilty. I felt guilty of like, hey, let me set this thing up for you and run it. And they're like getting all these things and these great leads. And I'm like, well, I gotta go. But it was a good transition. I think there was a little bit of overlap where I got to get the group started while I still had clients. So I never had to like go with no income.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I think that's something that people are concerned about is like, what does that transition look like? And the other thing I'm going to say that's completely random and off the charts is I'm amazed you haven't dropped an F-bomb yet.
It's early.
Nicole is the queen of F-bombs. If we make it through this without an F-bomb, I'm gonna be worried about you. But you transitioned over into coaching. Okay. And so you joined our next program, which was Coaching Launch, which is for aspiring coaches who want to learn how to build their audience and actually launch their first beta program. So then you joined Coaching Launch, and which is all about how to build a Facebook group, how to build your audience. You hopped in there. Your Facebook group has grown insane. It has grown to where are you at now? What are the numbers now?
The group has been nuts. I started the group on March 25th, and I just hit 6,200 members this morning.
Okay, so
that's
4 months. I think 4 months, 6,000 members later.
Yeah.
All right. And let's talk about this as well, because this is a big one for coach. If you're a coach and you don't have a Facebook group, right, you're missing the boat here. You're missing the boat here. Let's talk about why Facebook groups are so powerful. I'll let you share a little bit. Why do you like a Facebook group as far as the first move for an aspiring coach to build their audience?
Well, I mean, the first thing is like, yeah, you want to get out of those giant groups, those Goliath groups, and you're in there and you're doing the things and you're trying to get seen. There's 400,000 other people in that group. What's the chance of you getting actual visibility in that group? It's tough, right? So when you create your own audience, you get to be the star. You get to be the admin, so you're the authority figure in there. And what's so cool about that is not just like the everyone listen to me part. It's the fact that you get to kind of create your own little four walls in there of how your rules are, your group, your rules. So you don't have to deal with any of the bullshit that they have in those big groups because you create it all. And that's the badass part about it. And the next thing is you learn stuff, like a lot of stuff really, really fast from your audience that you don't necessarily learn out in those other groups or from your personal page, because you can direct the conversation in there so that people are telling you the things that you need to know to be a better coach. And I honestly, I have no idea how you can even start a coaching program without building a group first. That seems insane to me. You know what that turns into? That turns into those people that are like, I built a course and now I'm a coach, but I haven't sold it and it's been sitting on ice for 6 months. It's not a course until you sell it.
Agreed. And that's exactly what we cover in Coaching Launch, and exactly why Coaching Launch is all about building your Facebook group first, guys. Is because you get the data, you're going to be the admin, you're automatically going to be authority position. You get to create content. People get to know, like, and trust you. When you are the admin of a Facebook group, guys, and all of you should be building a Facebook group right now, because with Corona, everybody's on social media and everybody wants to connect. Facebook is also pushing Facebook groups harder than ever before. They ran a Super Bowl commercial last year, their first ever. It was all about Facebook groups. All right, so if you have not started growing and building your own Facebook group, guys, you are missing the boat. It is massively important to do so. And here's the thing, we all know, right, that in order for somebody to buy something, they have to see you. This is an old statistic. They have to have seen or heard from you 7 or 8 times. You know what? In 2020, the statistic is probably closer to 14 to 20 times. When you're in a Facebook group and you are the admin, almost every single time that you post, people are going to see a little notification that you are posting. All right, so you're showing up over and over and over and over and over again. You're staying top of mind. It is massively important. And so that's just something I wanted to share as well, guys, is get on the Facebook group. That's what we had Nicole do. And so then your group skyrocketed to 6,000 members in just 4 months. You launched your beta program successfully. And let's talk about how we helped you 5x your prices, because you launched this program and it was $300. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was $300 and I was terrified to sell it. Terrified.
If you $300, you were terrified to sell it. We helped you through the limiting beliefs, though, of, hey, you can do this, you can sell it, you're absolutely worthy and deserving of being a coach. So you launched your program at $300. You had a great initial launch. Then after that, I think you turned around and you're like, okay, Dino, I did my launch. I have a bunch of members. How do I grow this thing? How do I scale? How do I scale my coaching business to multiple 6 figures and eventually hit the 7-figure run rate, which is basically the direction you're headed now. So then you joined 7-Figure Visionary. So Nicole's path is like this. She joined our first Facebook ads program and crushed it. And then she joined Coaching Launch, built her Facebook group and crushed it, and launched her first program. And now she's in 7-Figure Visionary. And so what's within the first 3 weeks in 7-Figure Visionary, you netted $22,500 in profit. And the first thing we did with you was help you 5x your prices.
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Why did we have you go from $300 to $1,500, and how did that change things for you as an online coach?
Well, first of all, I got amazing results for my clients in that beta. Like, I mean, like I've had amazing results for myself, right? But it's different to teach it to somebody else. So I had all the fucking nerves in there where I was like, oh my God, I don't know if this is going to work, right? Like, I don't know if it's going to work. And I had all those imposter syndrome things and like the scared, because that's what happens because you care about the people who paid you, right? You care about the results. Well, some of those women, I mean, just skyrocket, took off. I had one girl who was like literally charging like 25 bucks an email that closed $10,000 worth of sales by upping her prices and doing all the things in my course in June. I mean, it was insane. I mean, she went so quickly. I mean, and there was, out of those 20 women, I mean, I think 16 of them like really slayed it and hit at least $5,000 in the month when they were not making anything. So that shift in my mindset of like, I just taught somebody how to go from making $1,200 a month to making $10,000 a month. Like, I think I could charge more than $300 for my program, right? So
damn right.
The belief came in. But also then it was like, I realized if I charged more, I could make the program better, right? Like, because I could give more dedicated time because I wouldn't have to have as many people in there to hit my income goals. And when I 5X'd it, I mean, it was scary, right? It's scary to say like, I'm not doubling my price. I'm 5Xing it, like, here we go. But I had the social proof. I had the backup of the testimonials. I had that thing. And I got to do the mindset work, like where it was like, am I worth this? Is it worth that? And like being able to sit down with myself and really go through that whole process that we do in Coaching Launch. Like, it changed my perspective because I realized I was serving people better. To charge them more, I was serving a higher ticket client. I was serving a better client who would get better results from my methodologies. And then they would make way more money because they paid more money. And I didn't understand that at all. That didn't make any sense to me until, you know, being in the program. And I was like, okay, I get it, because I got better results when I paid more, right?
Well, and that's also one of the things I want to chime in about. That's the difference between normally a course and coaching, all right, is because when you raise your prices, guys, if you're an online coach, or even if you're thinking of joining a coaching program as the client, when it's high ticket, the coach now has the ability to give you support on a different level. Also, when you invest high ticket, you're going to step out of your comfort zone. Like when you invest like a scary amount of money into coaching, then all of a sudden you're going to do the things that you know you're supposed to do, even when if you're shit scared of doing it, because you're like, I just invested this amount of money. Now I actually have to go do the work. And so people do the work more, they get more results. There's better coaching. There's more hands-on support. You can bring on additional experts and coaches to make the program even better. You can spend time upgrading the program because you're not trying to sell a bunch of $300 courses over. It really is a massive ripple effect. So Nicole comes in. We tell you to 5X your prices. You were nervous, but you did it. You crushed it. And then you did $22,500 in the first 3 weeks of working together inside Seven Figure Visionary, which is awesome. So a question I have for you, because I want to spotlight you and your awesomeness for a moment here. And maybe we'll get an F-bomb out of this. I don't know. But for people listening in right now, like, one of the things I always tell people, right, is when they don't understand the value of investing in themselves. So let's take your clients, for example, Nicole. I really want to spotlight you on this. You talked about how one of your clients went from charging $30 an email to, wasn't she charging like $3,500 an email or something?
She's got $3,500 sequences now.
Okay, so she went from charging $30 an email as a copywriter to $3,500. Now, let's break down the return on investment for her, because I think this is what most people get wrong when they think in terms of investing in coaching, is that you not only changed the amount of money that she made in those like 30 days working with you. For the rest of her career, she is now going to be charging a minimum of $3,500. All right, I don't know how old she is, but I guarantee she probably has several decades left of business, which means the amount of money in return
24.
She's 44, so she's probably has like 2 decades left of doing copywriting services.
24 years old.
24.
Like, crazy.
24. So she basically has another 40 years of online business, of copywriting.
Yeah.
Right? And now, rather than charging $30 an email, she's charging $3,500 an email sequence. $3,500 an email sequence for 40 more years is going to compound to at least $500,000, probably several million. All right, guys, that is the compounding effect of investing in coaching programs, is that you get your ROI today or otherwise this month in 6 months. All right, but then you get it for the rest of your career. All right, and so learning skill sets as soon as possible is a huge undertaking. I think that's one of the reasons as well that you are crushing it, is because you bought 3 programs from me in like 2 months.
Take my money. Take my money. I want results. I know what it means. I know that when you see something that you know is going to work for you, it's stupid to wait, because the longer I wait, the more people I haven't served, the lower my prices stay, right? It's like the target. Once you see the target, why not take it? Like there's no reason not to. Like if somebody told you today that if you shoveled out $10,000 today and you were guaranteed to make 100,000, like, why wouldn't you do that? Like what are you fucking thinking that you don't do that, right? When I saw there it is. I don't even notice.
I have a tally sheet going here. All right, we're at 1 now.
I think I snuck one in on you earlier. You didn't catch
Did
it. You're just used to hearing them now, you guys.
Yeah.
I run my entire group on F-bombs and fucking unicorns. Like that's what I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm shipping Nicole a t-shirt that says fucking unicorn on it, because that is her tagline and slogan. And actually that's her secret to her Facebook group growth, is that tagline. But no, let's dive into this for a moment, because I want
unicorns is my secret.
fucking unicorns is your secret. Let's talk about for a second here. What is a tip that you can share with people? Like, how did you grow your group so fast? How are you making sales effortlessly? Some coaches really struggle in that regard. I know that you've been selling a lot through Messenger, which is awesome. And you're kind of debunking the myth that you can't sell my ticket through Messenger. But what can we share with the folks here of basically like, yeah, what do you want to share? We'll let you take the stage here.
Well, I am sitting here in my pony shirt and my koala pajamas, and I made $3,500 before I even got out of bed this morning in Messenger. Shit just rolling through, right? But really, the secret to this is that there is no secret. You get to be yourself. And that's so hard for people, right? Easier said than done. But like realistically, the group growth comes because that group is mine. It's me. It's who I am. And I am not for fucking everybody. Let me tell you, some people are offended. Some people are upset, but they leave, right? They leave. And part of attraction and pulling people into your group is also repelling them, repelling the wrong people so you can make room for the right people. And that sounds scary to a lot of people because, you have that thing of, I love it when people say like, my target audience is everyone. Like, bitch, no, it's not. Okay. First of all, no. And that's so hard because you have this thing. I wanted to serve everybody too. You made me switch over to all women. And I was like, no.
Wait. So we have to talk about this because this is so good. Nicole,
I was seriously like legit like, fuck you, Dino. Like, I don't want to do that.
It's just so funny. Nicole and I were chatting and she's trying to figure out her niche of her coaching niche. And she goes, Dino, I really, and generally speaking, like, don't like women. Like, I don't like working with women. Like, I resonate more with men. And so, like, I think my audience should be men. And I was like, Nicole, you are working with women. And that's the end of the discussion. You're working with women and that is it. And she's like, shit. Okay, fine. I will work just with women. And it actually got to the point where she's like, honestly, Dino, I do not want to just work with women. She's like, I just don't think that's going to be good with my personality. She's like, I don't think that's going to be good. And I asked you a tough question. I don't know if you remember what I asked you. I was like, Nicole, do you want to make money or do you want to work with the audience that you like? And you sat there and thought about it. You're like, I want to make money. And I was like, okay, you're working just with women then, because there's a relatability factor there. It's niching down the correct way. And so how's that been for you though? It seems like it's going well. You figured out how to repel the portion of your audience that wouldn't fit with your brand and attract all the ones in. And that's polarity. Polarity is huge in marketing. You have to draw a line in the sand. That's something that we we cover extensively in our program is how to draw a line in the sand in a methodical way so that you don't piss everybody off, but you make it very clear that you attract some people in and repel others. You've kind of mastered that. So yeah, tell us more about that. You're being your own.
I don't work with female entrepreneurs. I work with motherfucking Wonder Women, and that's it. Like, if you don't fall into that category of saying, yes, I am a motherfucking Wonder Woman, then I don't work with you, because I don't want to work with female entrepreneurs because they're bitches to me, quite honestly. And I don't want to deal with it. And I did work with some of them in the beginning, and then it was like I dialed in that messaging a little bit more, right? And got a little bit more pointed in there. But really what this did was this experience of going through being coached and not wanting to fucking listen, because I am not always coachable, not wanting to fucking listen, but then doing it and having success. It gives me the authority to lay the smack down on the women in my program and say, like, look, like, I know you don't fucking like this answer, but same question. Do you want to make money? Or do you want to sit over here and have your feelings? Like, which one fucking is it? Because when you signed up for this program, you told me you were a motherfucking Wonder Woman. So get your feelings out of the way and follow the fucking program as to what it is with the result, right? The result.
Yeah.
And now I love working with women. And it's had this kind of different ripple effect that I didn't anticipate it to have. Is that it's kind of restored my faith in, like, the female species, because I've had so much good results with, I mean, I have amazing women in my program that I love, that are like genuinely like people that I like to be around, which has not been my experience prior to this. So now I have this like tribe of badass women that I love being around. Now I don't have to hate women anymore, which is dope, right? Like, it's so beneficial for my life. I'm so much happier. I'm so much more fulfilled. I still do miss working with men, but I do take one-on-one clients every once in a while. But it's like, you know, I get to have this thing that was missing from my life this whole time, was that girls have always been bitches to me, and now they're not. And if they are, I kick them the fuck out.
And that's what happens when you build your own community. And people really need to understand that, guys. You guys can choose the clients you work with. Yes. You absolutely can. When you dial in your marketing, when you dial in your messaging, you will attract certain people to you. You will repel others. But you have to draw a line in the sand. You cannot market to everybody and be everybody's savior. And you have to be uniquely yourself. That will attract people to you that are like-minded people. We've experienced, I love the clients inside of our programs. Like, everybody is awesome, always helping each other out, like, just great people. We have like basically a no politics rule in our programs. Like, it is a cool group of people. As soon as anybody kind of crosses the line, we boot them, like, and that's it. We're happy to refund people that don't fit inside of our programs, because we're building a culture. And that makes it so much fun, because there's just no bad clients. They're all awesome people. And it's a reflection of you as the coach and leader, setting the standard as far as, you know, what's going to happen inside your community, all those types of things, the brand. It's really, really awesome. And so, all right, so let's see. What did I have here? Okay, well, yeah, let's talk about the future for you here, Nicole. All right, what's going on? What are your plans over like the next like 6 months? What's the major goal here?
The scariest thing in my head is that all of this has happened in 4 months. It's a crazy amount of growth. I mean, like, insane. I could never have pictured this, right? 4 months ago, that this is where I would be right now. So 6 months feels like a crazy long time to me. And it's that thing of like, how do I learn how to map that future? Because so much has rapidly changed that I know that I need to be aiming super high, because I mean, 4 months ago, there's no way in hell that, you know, I would have predicted that I just, you know, wake up making 33 grand in the morning and just hang out in my pajamas all day. I never would have predicted that. So that's the coolest part. Like, I have all these pieces that are moving, and the exponential growth is there, that the ceiling is gone. So it's just like this wide open sky of potential. And so now I'm developing the Wonder Mind, because I'm realizing that my background is all strategic development. I've been a consultant, and I was consulting for bar owners, which, let me tell you, if I can get drunk bar owners who don't care about their business at all to perform, I can help anybody, right? Like I can coach the shit out of people because they're sober. It's so easy. But
You hope so.
right? Developing that thing of, you know, the mastermind strategic development of how fast I can do this, right? It's like 6 months. Like 6 months sounds exciting because who knows where the hell I'll be by then. It's crazy.
Yep. And Nicole mentioned Wondermind here, which is her mastermind that she's developing. Oh, am I breaking my computer as we go live? But that's one of the things, guys, that we do in Seven Figure Visionary is the first thing we do is when you join, we do a strategic launch with you. We work with you 1v1. We set up, handle your tech. I think, Nicole, we built out your sales page. I looked over your copy of your email, looked over the copy of your sales page, made sure your checkout page was connected to your Stripe account. We handled all that tech because we like our clients to be able to focus on their actual launch. So, you know, we don't want them dealing with integrations and stuff like that. So we handled all that. We got you set up with a different launch strategy than you used the first time. You went ahead, did $22,500 in 3 weeks. And then after that, we're like, okay, Nicole, long-term, it's time to think mastermind, right? Let's build out a long-term program. So you have clients that come in and commit to you for 6 months, 12 months. This helps with reoccurring income. So if you're a coach and you're burnt out because you're launching every single month over and over and over again, right? You need to build out a long-term program. And there's a very strategic way to do that. And you have to put other marketing pieces in place first because it's really hard to get people to commit to 6 or 12 months. So there's got to be other pieces in place first. That's all I can say about that. More of that is inside Seven Figure Visionary. But Nicole, it's been already 30 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you have a lot of F-bombs to drop inside your own Facebook group and a lot of other cool things to do. But I appreciate you joining me here today. I think everybody got a ton of value. It's always so much fun to chat with you. You are a dream client. I've enjoyed working with you through all 3 of our programs. And I know amazing things are going to happen here for you in the next few months. So with that said, thanks for joining me, guys. Where can we find more about you, Nicole? Like our audience here, right? That wants to be a Wonder Woman, is a Wonder Woman. Where do they find you? What's the best place for them to connect with you?
Wonder Woman, come and get me. I'm in client attraction secrets for Wonder Woman. Come join the group. It's too much fun all the time.
Awesome. Definitely look that up, ladies. Wonder Woman Attraction Secrets. You'll find her Facebook group. It'll probably be at 20,000 people by the time you find it in like 30 minutes. But look her up, guys. She's an amazing coach, doing amazing things, gets clients amazing results. So cool. Thanks for hopping on, for sharing your wisdom, and for talking about all your success inside of our programs. And we'll chat with you soon, my friend.
Thanks, Dino. You're a Wonder Woman too.
I'm an Iron Man. Come on now. Let's get this right. Iron Man. By the way, I tallied 7 F-bombs so far. So pretty good. Pretty good. You kept it under double digits. I think that's an improvement. So anyway, thanks, Nicole. We'll chat with you soon.
See ya.